What's up, Domino community? I'm Lily Hevish, and today I'll be teaching you how to build a popsicle stick bomb. So get your craft sticks and let's start building. The stick bomb is a super cool chain reaction trick where the sticks just magically seem like they fly up into the air. Now I'll explain why and how this works in just a little bit, but for now, let's get into the tutorial. So this particular type of stick bomb is called the Cobra weave technique, and it was invented by the legendary Tim Fort, also known as the Kinetic King. And in honor of him, and to keep his invention alive, I thought it'd be fun to do a tutorial video so you can try out this awesome chain reaction as well. The first thing you'll need is some wooden craft sticks or tongue depressors. Now keep in mind, these are 6 inches long by 3/4 of an inch wide. They are much larger than actual popsicle sticks. Don't use these. These will be really hard to work with. Tongue depressors will actually flex a lot more, which is going to make this trick work. Make sure you use the 6-inch long craft sticks. I'll leave a link down below in the description in case you want to get some of these. But for now, let's start the stick bomb. The first step is to make what looks like a slanted H. So I'm going to take 2 sticks, lay them in front of me. They're about 1.5 inches apart, and I'm going to slant it just slightly towards the left, keeping the bottom on the same line. Then we're going to take another stick to make the cross, and it's going to go underneath the left stick and over the right stick. And we're going to try to make sure that it's broken up into thirds. So the distance from here to here to here should be approximately the same. After that, we can start weaving. So I'm going to take this red stick and put it right on top of this green stick. Now this is on the side where the green is kind of off the ground facing upwards. I'm going to match the corner and then rotate this red one in so that we can put this purple one on top. So it's over the green, under the purple, and then we're going to lift this up so it's also over the blue. Now I'm gonna hold it down with my other hand just to keep it in place. So this is the start of the stick bomb, and I recommend just making sure that this red one is really secure. You don't want it to be almost hanging off the edge like this because it could trigger at any moment. So really make sure this red piece on the very edge is tightly in place, woven on either side. From here, we can start weaving. So I'm gonna take another stick and we're gonna place it over this blue one that's sticking up and then underneath this purple one. So while I'm still applying pressure to the stick bomb, I'm going to lift up this purple one and slide the red one underneath it. And now you can kind of start seeing the pattern of the stick bomb. The next one is going to go over this red one that's sticking up and then underneath the green one. So general rule of thumb, every time you see a stick that's trying to press upwards, the next one is going to go over it. And if it's already touching the ground, the next one is going to go underneath it. And after that, this blue one is going to go over the green and underneath the red. And from there, the pattern just repeats. So I'm just gonna continue adding sticks. So it goes over and then under, over and under. So you can make the stick bomb as long as you'd like. You can make it turn, you can make it go around the room. So if I want it to curve around this direction, I'm just gonna move the stick inward a bit. And then the next one is just going to angle slightly this way as well. One tip as you're building, if you're making just a straight line, I recommend being very careful to make sure that all the popsicle sticks are parallel. So for example, the red and the green are all parallel with each other, and then the blue and the purple are also parallel with each other. If you keep the consistency of the angle, then it'll end up being a straight line. So I'm just gonna keep continuing the pattern like this, over under, and then over under. Once you get the technique down, it's pretty straightforward. Another really cool tip to maximize the power of the stick bomb is to weave it even closer together. So what I can do is if I hold it down on one side, on the open side, I can push it in so that these gaps become even skinnier diamonds. So because the sticks are now angled even more, there's more pressure applied to the sticks, which makes them want to fly up with even more power. This is a really useful technique as you're building. You can just kind of compress it a bit, and then that'll give it more power when you topple it for real. So I'm just gonna continue this all the way to the end. And finally, to finish the stick bomb, we're going to take a piece and we're going to weave it between all 3 of these open ends. So I'm going to start by putting pressure on this blue that's hanging up, putting it underneath the purple as if we were to just weave another one. And then we're going to rotate this red one so it goes underneath the green one. So I'm going to lift that up and place it under. Make sure this red one is really tightly in place, just like that first one. And then once it feels very secure, you can just slowly lift your hands up and you've just completed your very first stick bomb. Now, it's always best to knock it down soon after you build it. If you leave it up for a couple of days, there's a chance that the sticks could end up warping and then changing their shape, which will actually make it lose its power. So whenever possible, try to set it off the day you build it or the next day, because otherwise there is a chance that it could stop and lock up. So if you topple it on this side where we started, the sticks are facing in this direction, which means you'll get the Cobra weave effect, and the top of it will kind of like fly up as if it's a Cobra snake going along. So to trigger it, we're just gonna take out the first piece. So I'm just gonna slowly take out this red one, hold it down, and then all I have to do is lift up my hand. Also, be sure to keep your head away from the sticks as they fly up, and consider wearing safety goggles. And let's see how it goes. Awesome! Trust me, it looks even better when it's a long chain. Like, you can just make this as long as you want, and it looks so cool. So how and why does this trick even work? Well, it's all a matter of physics. When I'm holding a stick just normally, it's at rest. But when I bend it, it is now storing potential energy. When I release it, it starts moving, and that potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. So when it comes to stick bombs, when you weave the sticks together, you're bending them and storing potential energy. All of the sticks just naturally want to fly up, but they're held down by the one next to it. But as soon as you release that first stick, the tension is released, and that potential energy is then converted into kinetic energy. Now, this is just one way you can use the Cobra weave technique. If you need more inspiration, I have a ton of videos using this trick on a much larger scale, so go check them out. I hope you have fun building your own projects. And before I go, I want to give a shout out to our featured community member, Family Domino's, who's been doing a great job with their setups. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'm Lily Hevish, and keep on building.